What's up, guys? It's a nice afternoon work day. I'm wrapping it up at the end of the day here, getting ready to go home after a 10-hour day. Just thought I'd show you what I'm up to here. This is a shuttle bus, and it's a 2014 Chevrolet Express 4500 with a Duramax diesel. And what I had happen here on this one was there was a rattling noise, a real loud rattling noise coming from underneath the hood. And what it was as you can see, there's an aftermarket bracket right there next to that aftermarket AC compressor, and the bracket broke. I'll show you what broke here. This is a replacement one. It's not a new one because I got to get this bus back on the road tomorrow, but it's a replacement from another bus that's currently taken apart. What we had happen was this little bracket arm here broke, and it loosened up the secondary alternator. This has got an auxiliary alternator on it, an aftermarket setup, you know, for the additional AC in the back and the extra lights, just more running loads. But over here on my the box here, I've got the part. This oh, it's not over here, it's right here. But here's the old bracket. As you can see, it just completely sheared off right here. That bracket just broke right off. And then after that broke, this bolt was the next one to give way. This one normally threads right in through here, holds the alternator in place, but as you can see, it broke off. So that's how long it's supposed to be, and there's a broken one. So this bracket here, it's a two-piece. It actually bolts onto the secondary AC compressor for the rear AC, and it broke off. So I pulled the bracket off of this shuttle bus here. This is another shuttle bus, and this one's a much more complex job. There we go. This one had a leaking fuel line. The guy who's working on this is going back together with it, but this fuel line right here was leaking on the rail. Whenever it would run, it would just spray diesel fuel all over the place. We don't know why. It's the second time this has happened on this bus. It's got a new rail, new lines and everything both times. I don't know why, but it's going back together on this one. Hopefully that'll fix it. But I mean, diesel engines are great, don't get me wrong. They run amazingly well and when they're running. But man, whenever you have problems with them or whenever you got to work on them, it is just a pain. I mean, this is a good day or two job here. There's just no room to work. Even with the doghouse off, it's still a really tight space. But I'll show you what else I got going on in this one over here. Originally, what this bus came in for was a check engine light and reduced power. It wouldn't go over 10, 15 miles an hour. What this is this is your secondary fuel injector. It's an indirect injector on the exhaust right before the catalytic converter. When the diesel engine goes into regen, or service regen they call it, it dumps a ton of fuel into the exhaust, and this injector actually sprays fuel into the exhaust system right before the catalytic converter and causes the catalytic converter to get extremely hot, up to like 1200 degrees. That heats the exhaust gases, which then flow into the diesel particulate filter and burn off all the soot that the diesel particulate filter has accumulated. So this injector went bad, and the way we figured it out was we tried to run a service regen. Temperatures wouldn't go over 700 degrees, which is way too cool. It's supposed to be like 1200, so almost double that. So I disconnected the indirect injector, ran a test with the scan tool, and it wasn't spraying any fuel out. And it had a code set for it as well, so we pretty much knew right then and there it was a bad injector. So that's getting installed next. When I do this tomorrow, I'll show you what that looks like and how you can get to that under there. There's a secondary alternator here. This is a fuel injector for a 2015 Tahoe with a 5.3. the direct injectors on those like to go bad a lot, so that's another project I've got lined up. It's waiting to go, but that's it. That's what I've got going on here today. It's like I said, it's just a nightmare, and this isn't even the worst of it. We have a bus sitting out there right now that's dead with a with the injection pump failure, and it sent metal throughout the entire fuel system. So all the lines have to be replaced, the injectors have to be replaced, the pump has to be replaced, everything has to be replaced fuel related, except the lines between the fuel filter and the fuel pump, basically. And it's a real nightmare. Whoops. It's a real nightmare because you even have to drop the tank to get the metal out of there. It just sends metal everywhere. So whenever I get into that, I'll be sure to show you guys how that looks. We've done one before. It's a pretty amazing looking job. I mean, you've got parts everywhere. It's the whole front of the bus is basically gone. But anyways, that's what I've got going on, so but you might find this interesting. I'll take another clip when I do the indirect injector.